You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club, and he's back.
Yes, sir.
Van Lathan. Today, of course, is Change for Change. We're raising money for Project 375.
Yes, now this is important. Project 375 is founded by NFL player Brandon Marshall. He struggled with years of mental illness. He was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. So we're raising money for his organization to raise awareness for mental health, end the stigma, and raise funding for treatment. Why does that mean anything to you, Mr. Lathan?
For a lot of reasons, man. I mean, mental health is something that we talk about a lot of issues in the community, but we don't talk about how our living conditions are affecting our brains. You know what I mean? It's very difficult to have the conversation. If you think about the guys in your family that you were warned about, like, yo, he's crazy.
Right.
Or, she's crazy. Like, that became normal after a while. And it's really not normal to have some of these. It's not abnormal. There's nothing wrong with these people, but I think we accept a little bit of the mental health disorders that we have in the community too much. And it's a mix of everything. It's PTSD, it's anxiety, it's all of this stuff. So we really have to shine a light on that because it'll make us a stronger and more efficient community, man. So I'm always out for that.
Now, you deal with anxiety. Now, how did you realize, or when did you realize that you had an anxiety problem?
I had an anxiety attack.
Did you know what it was when you had it?
Because I swore I got airlifted to the hospital.
Really?
Yeah, I was on my way to see my cousin. Shout out to Glenn Davis. I was on my way to see my cousin play basketball, and he was still in high school, and we were driving Breaux Bridge, Louisiana, and I just felt this feeling in my stomach, and my heart started beating fast. Don't even know why. And when I stopped, and I was in the gas station, they were like, "Yo, like I think we need to call somebody." My heart rate was I was at rest. My heart rate was probably like 135, and I was sweating, and I couldn't breathe, and I didn't know what was going on. And they sent in like a helicopter. The helicopter grabbed me, took me to the hospital, and then after that, they started coming all the time. To the point to where one time I had a panic attack, and the paramedics came, and the actual EMS dude was like, "You need to deal with this." He's like, "This is like the third or fourth time that we've seen you."
Really?
They came to my job. You know what I mean? Like different times, like you need to deal with this. And I go, and this was a very important moment for me. He goes, "But every time I go to the hospital, they tell me that there's nothing wrong with me." He goes, "No, that's not right." He goes, "There is something wrong. It's just that the prognosis is better. What they're telling you is that there's nothing wrong with your heart. They're not saying that there's not an issue that you need to deal with. This is your mind, and it's important. So you need to kind of get this squared away." And that's when I started therapy, and that's when I started some of the medications that I'm on. And I still go up and down, but things are pretty good for the most part.
I love when I love when guys like you have these conversations, because when people think mental illness, they think somebody's dumb, but you're like intelligent, like very smart. So it's just like, why do you think it's that misconception that mental illness equates to dumbness?
Because I think people equate everything that goes on inside your mind with control and intelligence. They think if you're an intelligent, even-keeled person, that there can't be anything wrong with you. And sort of having something off-kilter in your brain is such a gumbo of different symptoms, right? It's there can be so many different reasons to why you're a little bit off, or to why you need a little bit of extra therapy or counseling or help or even medication. And a lot of times you can't put your finger on them. But people would think, yo, if you was in control of stuff, or if you were a person that was more intellectually gifted, you wouldn't be having these problems. And you never know why. Life in a lot of ways sort of implants things into you, and you sometimes just got to take a second and deal with them.
Right. There's a lot of things in our heads that we have to deal with that maybe we've ignored, we push to the side, or we think, okay, I'm going to just, pretend that didn't happen. A lot of things that go back to our childhood. And just like we take care of our bodies, you have to take care of your mind, because that is part of your body.
Yeah, it's like, so when I was coming up, every time I would see a police officer, or every time a cop would get behind me, I would go into extreme fight or flight, right? Like I could feel my heart beating out of my, most of the time it's because I was driving on expired tags. But I could feel my heart beating out of my chest. You know what I mean? Just think about it. Every time you see a police cruiser, you get fight or flight. That's messing with your brain.
Right.
That's playing tricks with the chemicals in your brain. And as a black man, you're seeing that situation. Then sometimes you're having it in the street when you have an issue.
Yep.
Sometimes and all of these different things. Every time your body is ready to defend itself or ready to get ghost, enough of that will change the chemistry in your brain, and you might need to kind of take some time and deal with it.
And we don't realize how much that's killing us. All that cortisol getting injected into your bloodstream, like that's literally killing us.
Yeah, it is. It's a tough thing to deal with. You know what I mean? So it's just something you have to kind of work on.
Well, if you're out there, we need you to text right now, change to 52182 or head over to the website bcchangeforchange.com and donate anything you can. It can be
Van,
$5, $10, $20, $30, $40, $100, whatever.
I hate to lean on you in this moment.
Uh-oh.
But this is a donation.
Okay.
And you can spare whatever. He donated last year too, by the way.
Right.
I did.
Van definitely donated last year.
And he doesn't have to say what amount. We just appreciate a donation.
No, you can go ahead and say how much you want to donate.
Well, I mean,
But don't feel pressure.
But you know what though?
It's
Here's the
cool.
thing though, like. What's a lot of money to me might not be a lot of money to the
It
rest of
don't
the people.
matter.
It don't matter.
Everything
We don't judge
everything
it, it don't
counts.
matter.
All right. How about $1,000?
That's
Boom.
good. That's
That's
great.
a lot.
Take that.
That's great.
$1,000.
That's
Take
great.
that.
Van
That's an
actually just
incredible
donated
amount.
$1,000 to
$1,000
Change for Change, and we appreciate you for stopping through.
My whole family gonna hit me up for money now. $1,000, no problem, man.
My goodness. All right, it's the Breakfast Club. It's Change for Change.